190 million children. This is the number of children currently enrolled in public schools across India. And most of our children can't learn effectively. Our children experience poverty. Most of our children come from a household income of less than $2 a day. They experience violence, trauma, stress, and even abuse. Poverty is stressful, and our children are too stressed to learn. When I was an educator for 10 years, I realized that there was a big difference between me teaching and children actually learning. I saw that how severe mental health issues can ensure that children don't learn effectively in the classroom. I saw that this challenge not only stopped my children from developing better relationships and have better mental health, but also affected their life choices and education outcomes. I also lost several of my students to these adversities. But when we came to class, we almost had to pretend like we were just here to read and do math. And that was not fair. For my children, it was almost like they were trying to run a race with a big, heavy backpack on. And you can't learn when you carry this baggage alone. And this is a big barrier to learning and thriving. And all of this really made me question my purpose as an educator. And that's when I found my co founders, Vedant and Malika, to start my nonprofit. Vedant had had a childhood lived experience of adversity. He had dropped out of college at age 17 to start his own company. And Malika was a thriving young professional, a chartered accountant in a leading company, but was losing purpose in her life. And so we all came together to really ask our children, what do you need? And when we asked our children this, we understood that they needed to understand more about their emotions. They needed to see purpose in their learning, and they needed more trusting relationships. So that's what we did. We curated classrooms where children were able to practice all of these things in a safe environment. And this was great, but our dream was much bigger and much more audacious. And so in this, we found an unusual partner to begin with. We wanted to uplift an entire generation of learners, and one state government decided to take a bet on us. Even though we were super young, they decided to include us in a group of people who would then curate a daily well being class across all public schools of the state. And that eventually became our model. At Labhya, we're on a mission to achieve well being and learning for children in India at scale. And what we do is we partner with Indian state governments to help them mandate and embed a daily well being class across all public schools of the state. So, just like our children have a maths or an English class, they now have a daily well being class to practice in. And the curriculum for this class is co created with a lot of care with public school teachers, teachers who collaborate with us to curate this class in a localized way in the local language. This includes mindfulness, where children learn how to become more aware of their breath, their body, and their larger surroundings. This includes stories and activities that are designed using the day to day experiences of children, like a child picking up another child's blue pencil because they liked it when they were not looking, or hiding our test papers from mummy and papa when we didn't get good scores, or even sharing a best friend with somebody else. And all of this is followed by reflective questions where children can learn to reflect on their actions and behaviors. This also includes reflection sharing, where our children learn how to express gratitude, express anger, express love, and so much more. All of these activities are designed for low resource classrooms using just a window, a wall, a chalk, a duster, etc. And all of this magic is co created by public school teachers who we support throughout the year through training and coaching and support to make sure that this daily well-being class creates the magic can for our children. Today, we impact 2.4 million children across 22,000 public schools who access this classroom every single day in partnership with three state governments of India. And we have seen some marked improvement from our programming. Evidence suggests that our programming leads to decreased anxiety levels amongst our children and increased learning levels amongst our children, amongst other things like grit and resilience and social networks. And our work has been recognized globally for the kind of impact it has had, from the UN to First Families to most recently global mental health philanthropist Selena Gomez, or who some of us know from her famous song Calm Down. My dream is that every child gets this. And my goal is to impact 30 million children by 2030. And this is how we're going to reach there. First is by taking the leap of evidence to prove irrefutably that when children are well regulated, they simply learn better. We are conducting the world's largest randomized control trial to prove this as I speak. Second, by systemic scaling, to partner with more state governments so that they can own the program and take it forward without us. And third, by raising catalytic capital. Mental health and children's mental health is one of the most under resourced program areas in the world right now. We need to bring more investments in this space. I'm building, and we at Labhya are building a global movement for children's well being. And I invite all of you to join us.